Ah, can't you smell that fresh fall air? Pumpkin spice lattes at Starbucks. Little kids getting ready for Halloween. It's fall, which means Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Let's talk about that.
Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by CyberVenger. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
Okay, so Cybersecurity Month. Once again, happy Cybersecurity Awareness Month to everyone. It's a great time of year to think about what you're doing with security practices. It's easy to do the right things when you're thinking about it. It's also really easy to let the stuff you need to be doing fall to the back of your mind and kind of sort of forget about it. It's good to have a regular reminder to make sure that, okay, am I really doing things? Am I really testing everything? So what does that mean? Well, it means we're going to talk about the common things that people should be doing to protect their security, things that people should be doing maybe once a year, once a quarter. We've done other videos on that. A lot of cybersecurity standards out there. If you're following those, we'll already have this kind of taken care of. It's baked in the schedule. And we'll talk about that for those who don't have a specific compliance that's keeping them on track. A real common one is change your passwords every year. Now, a lot of people think that if you have two-factor, you don't need to change your password anymore. Well, I think that's silly because it's not two-factor if you're just counting on one factor to save you. Yes, it's great to have two-factor. That means you either get a text or an email, or you got to put a little code in on your from your authenticator app on your phone every time you log in. Speaking of two-factor, it's not invulnerable. It can be breached. If you have email as your two-factor, you get an email when you try to log in somewhere, well, people can break an email. It's happened plenty of times before, more often than you might think, actually. So that's a weak way to do two-factor. Texting, people have had their SIM cards hijacked and moved to other phones, and the hackers have gotten their two-factor that go into their text messages, so that's not bulletproof. You want to use a application on your phone like Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator or something like that to generate the one-time passwords. It's much more secure than those other two methods. Not invulnerable though. You want to use it because it makes a big difference, but it does not make you invulnerable. It's still important to use good passwords and to change them regularly. But maybe not so regularly that you're leaving Post-it notes on your screen. Don't do that. Never write down your password where someone's sitting at a desk and you just find it lying around. Don't stick it in the bottom of your keyboard. If you're doing that, I just said it out loud, right? I said onto the bottom of the keyboard. You should now know that people are looking there. Because, that's you I'm talking to. Anyway, I say these things, people are like, who the heck does that? I've walked into clients. I walked into a doctor's office one time, and I was the patient, so I was really upset. And there was, the password information pasted on the wall to some application. I don't know what it was. I didn't want to dig. It wasn't my business. But it was right on the wall. I'm sitting there as a patient staring at the wall, looking at the password to go look at some laboratory, something or other. It's just people don't think about these things. It's really important to raise awareness. Your end users should be trained. Some kind of know before or some kind of training package, maybe email phishing. That should be done at least once a year, if not more often than that. Incident response plans should be reviewed. All your stuff, what you're going to do if you got breached. Review that, yearly review your policy. Do a disaster recovery test to make sure that actually works. Do some kind of intruder walkthrough to, what would you do if you got hit, if an incident occurred. Go through a practice run, and you'd be surprised sometimes what you run into when you just stop to think about the steps, trying to imagine the process taking place, get your whole team involved. These are all things you should be doing at least once a year, and this is the time of month to be doing it. Celebrate cybersecurity awareness. It's kind of the point. When I take this really important thing that gets pushed out of mind too often and put it right front and center. So we're going to be doing, and supporting the idea, we're going to be doing a number of videos to helping people how to secure their networks. We're going to be trying to do a big push and get some more content out this month, more than normal. And that'll be really easy because I got to talk to all of you a lot about Windows 11. End of life. End of life is a big thing to manage when it comes to cybersecurity, right? If your products aren't supported by the vendor, they're not secure. There's no patches, no support. It's got to get breached. And Windows 10 is going to be one of those items starting October 2025. That's right. We only got 1 year to replace every Windows 10 machine in our environment that's connected to a network. Daunting task if you haven't gotten started already, but we're going to have all kinds of videos coming up to help you do that faster, ways to do imaging. Imaging can be very intimidating. We're going to do a complete walkthrough and a couple other videos of how to do imaging with free tools that come from Microsoft, a tool called DISM. works great. It's awesome because you can make an image. You can make an image on like an AMD with a SATA controller, and then you can deploy that image on an Intel with a SAS controller, and it doesn't care. It kind of does the Windows install thing, but still pulls all the applications and security settings. It's a nice tool. We'll get to that, but that's something you should be doing to get ready for Windows 11. And just any of your software systems, have you checked your firewall? When does your license expire there? Renewals, are your certificates going to expire soon? Make sure that you have that all on a calendar. So that's something people should do that people forget. I like to remind people that the number one thing that's going to get you actually compromised by a bad guy is a failure of the basics. I look at every kind of, Gartner study this, Cybersecurity Weekly that, whatever, and you look at the number of breaches that occur, vast majority of them, like 90+%, are somebody forgot to do something stupid that they should have done, like change their passwords on a firewall, or use two-factor authentication, or somebody stuck RDP outside the firewall and got hacked that way. I can't believe people are still doing it, but they are. Somebody fell for an email phishing scam. It goes on, right? The failure of the basics is really what's going to get you in trouble. So this month, I'm going to talk to people about the basics. Be careful about who you're talking to. Always assume, if you get an email, assume it's fake. A lot of people don't realize that the from address can be forged very easily. Well, not as easily as it used to be. There's a way to catch it, but you should still assume that it's fake. I mean, people's accounts get breached all the time, and it could be a legitimate account that a hacker now has access to, and that's what they do. And then they'll harvest the address book and spam out to everybody to try and get more victims. It's a very, very common tactic. So don't trust an email. You get an email talking about an invoice, about this, about that. Treat it very suspiciously. When in doubt, call your IT person. Ask them. If you aren't an IT person and you're not sure, well, maybe you should have a cybersecurity company at your back. Remember, you could be a great IT person and not be a great cybersecurity person. It's like remodeling a house. Maybe you're a great roofer. Doesn't mean you can do drywall. A lot of people can do both, but you get different disciplines. Plumbing is kind of like its own thing. Maybe that's a better analogy. Cybersecurity really is its own discipline. It touches a lot of IT support, but if you don't focus on training in cybersecurity, you're probably making mistakes in your environment. You don't even know what they are. There's more vulnerabilities out there than simply missing patches. It's a great time to reach out to a cybersecurity company, get maybe a risk assessment done, that kind of thing. It's that time of year, right? Big assessments, big projects to help improve your security posture. This is the time to do it. It's October. We're calling it Cybersecurity Awareness Month. The whole industry, we're all doing that. So that's the time to make it happen. Just want to wet your whistle with that. Make sure that we jump on board and remind people of that sort of thing. That's all I got for this video. We're going to get some of those Windows 11 videos coming out, some cybersecurity tips coming out for you. So stay tuned to this channel for more exciting stuff. And we'll see you then.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cybervenger.com.